drop in through the window from Doc and actually finds an AKM. DBS, though, in the hands of D3S. That's going to be nasty. Fortunately, Doc's down as well. And Alpha Gaming actually definitely on the back foot of this as Reefus takes a lick down the hall.
Yes. GS. Not a bad start for them. APG were fighting over this in the test matches as well. It's interesting to see this one come back again. So this was a little engagement that was taking place multiple times during scrims. Looks like it wasn't one to conclude too quickly. Both teams kind of were going back and forth on this. APG were winning a couple of times. GS were winning a couple of times themselves. So it really was undecided who would be able to take this one. You also got Geek over towards Novorepnoya as well. So it's certainly a difficult scenario now for APG as well as GS. Who's going to be winning off the back of this one? I mean, APG down to 3 players. GS still at 4. So the ball is in their court, realistically.
No recall beacons for Doc this time around. Zyol biding his time. Reefus ticking up slowly on the stims. Icon puts the pin back in the nade. Missteps a lot more costly here on Erangel, obviously. Taking that recall beacon away. Alpha 7 far flung from the thick of it right now over towards Pubg, heading up towards the north. And given the circle, I think that's probably the right choice. The circle did pop all the way up to shooting range. Long road for these two teams. They need to conclude pretty soon if they want to get in with a chance of actually having a decent shot to the circle.
Definitely a long journey, and there's no recall beacons anymore to assuage those problems. APG is kind of stuck here now too, because you can't really make the backstep over towards the hillside behind them. Very exposed. Once you move out the way, GS, all they have to do is head over towards the roof and start taking shots. So APG's sort of locked into this fight. And it's a long journey up north as well, with the circle setting up over towards shooting range. It's unideal.
Zyol. He's been hiding behind this wall for a while now. I don't know if they know about it, but if they get up to that high ground, they will. Can't really move up to the roof. It's just so exposed, and you don't really know fully where Reefus is. Nade from D3S. I think they know he's behind the wall now. Long nade. Don't think that tagged too much damage, but Zyol had to reposition and the footsteps give it away. They know where they're playing now. A stunner out wide to slow down a push that didn't come through for GS. And Alpha Gaming still just holding, playing as 3. Top off in the distance as well. A Molotov out on the door. It just keeps just at bay time and time again. It feels like every single time GS are stepping forwards, but they're just getting rebuffed.
It's very much a stalemate fight. And again, it's one of those things where APG has to commit to this now, where if GS want to keep dropping on them over towards military, then APG need to make it as hellish as possible going forward. If you want to keep dropping here, we won't leave. Even if you take down one of us, we will remain, and we're going to make your lives very tough. Which is a bit of a stubborn approach, but I think APG and stubbornness go hand in hand anyway.
Yeah, I think that's...
It's the start of the tournament. So they've got plenty of time to convince other teams not to come here.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they want to get up towards the top 7 in Gauntlet, which really is the ultimate goal of these teams here, they do need to try and get that one shifted a little bit further down the pipeline as fast as possible in the next 3 days. See what more they can earn. Erangel, obviously a major feature of these days, with a 50% of your matches played on the grassy pastures. Taking a look at the points right now, I mean, R8 with 13, which is crazy on that first match, despite going down fairly early on in the overall standings. I think it was 6th or 7th or something on the placements. But Virtus Pro and Thunder Talk just a little bit ahead of that. And the fact that Alpha 7 got 9 in the end boggles the mind. Kara moving parallel now to the so-called hometown heroes right now. Certainly the only representative from the hometown in the Gauntlet stage. We'll be seeing Vampires in the finals as well. But E-Arena going to be moving alongside Kara.
Joker just watching this unfold. They pass on by, which isn't great, to be honest with you, for E-Arena. I think I would have rather got moving a little bit early with Kara taking a proactive approach there. It does set up a bit of a landmark that's going to block off E-Arena when they start to come through. VP also will be making a bit of a rotation over towards the north side. Round Stalba likely. APG regress over towards GS.
Reefus with the pump action. Alpha Gaming taking a little bit more ground back under control in the long building, but they left a backstop in the cupboard there, and 2 players go down immediately as well. It's getting turned around, it's getting traded off. It's chaos on the inside here, Blank, but Alpha Gaming managing to stand tall amongst it. The push back in has worked. They are making it hellish indeed. There's Jafar now, the last player to stand for GS. Spots Reefus, ducking down behind the box, and has to head up the stairs instead to stay safe. The blue zone is ticking away. It's slow, but it's there. The dropout from Jafar into a 1v1 now, and Alpha Gaming and GS still toe-to-toe in C block. The bomb action through the window. He gives them the do-si-do and puts them back in the lamp.
I mean, the one tap as well is pretty impressive. Coming through from Jafar. And their wish is granted, like you say. Military base is theirs. APG do go down. They do lose a lot for it, though. Only 4 elims and only 2 players remaining off the back. Thunder Talk over towards the north side compound, just the west of Severny. I actually don't mind this position at all. Quite like it on our screens right now. A lot of capability for maneuvers later on, which is good stuff. And it shifts down towards the southwest side, where DRX is currently playing on the dead trees. Zaki for Alpha 7 is an interesting one.
They started at the Pubg.
They have been cowed.
Well, fine. You know what? I mean, they sent there early, right? And they're going to have to play from that northwest side. GK moving on in on the east edge with Ulf. Just to their south up in the hills, you can see the ridge lines, the trees, the terrain play here will inevitably be incredibly crucial. As DRX look to regroup, Alpha 7 poking their noses in too, but Creo, he's turned away. Spots too much danger for his liking. Waits for the rest of his team.
It's a good time for Alpha 7 to move. I mean, you said it started in Lipovka, moved over towards here. You're getting a lot of value off the back of this one with the circle moving over towards that western side. GK currently on our screens. Moving through the center of the circle, but no real position to stay right now. The Arena finally made that move from the western coast. They are on the south side. Kara is still posing a bit of a threat to them. Being a little bit annoying, but Marcel having to swim here does give free reign now for E-Arena to push over towards that eastern side. Potentially even past the Xavier. Kind of like their split. 2 and 2 across the roadside. Tucked in over towards the hillside on the east.
I'm confused about what Marcel's doing right now. Because Kara have got control of the bridge. Fully. He just fancied a swim. He wanted to go back to the last game. He's like, oh, we went in the final circle. I want to be in there. Nah, just get on to North George. Come on. Kick up the pace. Regnum Kaya, they are slap bang center, but they're in a bit of a divot here with a lot of oversight from on the surrounds. It's going to be difficult to move away from this, but it's very central, which is the big positive of that spot. And they'll be able to play on from there. The DXavier 2-2 split to their south flank as well is a big threat to them, but could be a bit difficult for DXavier to hold. We'll see if they have more success than they did against Thunder Talk from the last match.
Honestly, I loved Thunder Talk gameplay from that last match. And I think that it is definitely difficult to deal with a team that is very coordinated like that. I want to see more from them. I mean, 15 points already is a really, really good start. And for Thunder Talks to get into that top 7 will be a big boon for their region. Alpha 7 starting to cross from that field on the western side, but still really difficult to determine where you want to play on this circle. It's not amazing spots all around. I think even moving down this way, you're very, very tough to find decent spots to play now. I think a lot of teams are going to shift over towards that western side, try and play the east edge of Georgia Pole. First Pro up against Thunder Talks once again. Like you said, sighting does go down, but for their troubles, they're at least able to find one.
They're able to get... Oh, Virtus Pro able to claim a point there. Thunder Talk not so lucky, and IQ are tagging onto the back as well. King going down, should be flushed out. Going to be real tricky to make that one work. Rectum Kaya holding their central spot as well, defending as they move. Sorry, they're not holding. They sent all the way down to the south coast. Goodness me. Okay, a big rotate coming through in the midst of it. They give up the position a bit further up the hill and instead take control of the roadsides blank, which slither through the middle of this next circle. A lot of control for Regnum Kaya still.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk too much about Regnum Kaya other than that initial push from last game. But definitely a team that we're expecting big things from in the future, and already a very, very good position on this map to play around with across the roadside. It is going to require a little bit of gusto from them to hold on to this spot, but I think that Regnum Kaya can make it happen. R8 currently playing box, which is not a bad position at all. I think for E-Arena, it looks better than it actually is. Over on this south side, it's going to be kind of tough to move across that open ground, even past all four DX Xavier, Wolves even holding on that north side. So I think for E-Arena, they may struggle slightly.
Alpha 7 trying to dodge the spray downs. Looks successful for now. Kara moving in from that western side, slowly moving through North George. Marceau did finally get toweled off after his swim under the Georgia Bowl Bridge. And now they'll have to try and move further east with Virtus Pro and Alpha 7 in the way, though. That is going to be tricky, and the blue zone is starting to hurt now into stage 3, closing in 39 seconds to stage 4. That's where it starts to become impossible to play inside that blue, and they're kind of caught in the crux of it, Blank. I think Kara not long for this one.
I mean, they didn't have a bad spot to play around with. They even got ahead of the issue with E-Arena. Like, the initial rotates from Kara were good. Yeah, getting torn to pieces by Virtus Pro a little bit here has been pretty rough, at least. We should be able to get the players back up in action. Next move, right? What's the next step here? How do we move Knight from here? Because I think that they're likely not taking a win back of this one, and it is more checkmate on their side of things right now. Regnum Kaya pushing over towards the bridge. Actually, unironically, a very good position. Looks bad. Is pretty good.
I mean, yeah, right now it is brilliant cover, brilliant hard cover. The downside is that R8 are sort of just around the corner. Could be difficult if nades start to pour on through. In the meantime, this northwest side is getting treacherous. DRX moving on through, and Alpha 7 clashing with them. They stayed back from the fight for quite a while. They moved all the way out to Zaki on a wide wrap from Pubg, and now they're starting to push towards the circle. Kara spreading out in a line behind them might prove to be a difficult obstacle, and Obscure going down means DRX are starting to turn the tides of this fight. A second knock found as well, and really not too much damage seen in response towards DRX.
I mean, that's one way to do it, right? Is if you can't quite see your target, you just blindly spray through the smoke, and typically gets the job done. I think for Kara, they're so far on the outside of the circle that, yeah, it was only a matter of time before this started to happen. DRX still trying to put the pain on over towards Alpha 7. Grease out, moving off in the distance. Tanky gets taken down. Quick jump into the vehicle from DRX. Can't say slightly low, but is healing. I do think for Regnum Kaya, it's not actually that bad between them and R8, because the chances... right now, at least, I think the chances that R8 leaves box and the relative safety of those outside windows right here to take shots or nades down towards Regnum Kaya, very slim. I think for Regnum Kaya actually working pretty well in tandem with R8.
Ooh, Ragnarok. Doing a lot of work for Geeke there as well on that northeast side. IQ cut down. Still going with a little bit more gas in the tank, but you don't imagine that they've got too much more for Orangutan. It is going to be a difficult move now with one player left. Marso's in as well, but he's taking fire from across the way. I think that's Thunder Talk. I think that may be Regnum Kaya if they step up on that south side that they've managed to move out for an outpost with. Loxy, I mean, he spotted this cross. This is, a nice little pick up there. A little bit too bold from Loxy, in fact, there as R8 spot him on an off angle.
I don't really know why he pushed out so far. He wants to take down the straggler there from Orangutan, but it's not meant to be. The Xavier, do you remove Mad Bulls? Only 4 elims this game. Will be taken down. Virtus Pro currently playing on the bridge alongside on that western edge, but Ulf has something to say about Aaron here. This team's actually really quite strong. I think that we haven't seen all that much out of Ulf recently, but Aaron does get clipped by the circle, and like you say, in stage 4 here will start to hurt quite a bit more than a zap, more like a proper taser on that side of things.
Yeah, he gets flushed out as well. Couldn't quite make it. Couldn't quite make the run. Ulf now a player down, not ideal, but they are on the Kobe. They can go way towards their advantage. It's going back up to that northern side blank. That gives the position for DX on the buildings a bit of potential here, and they were able to a lot of that area and play that ridgeline potentially further towards the south. This could be a pretty solid spot moving forwards for DX. It is a lead that is going to be difficult. No one really tested on the north, so maybe that's going to give them an opening.
It's nice the circle does come over from the south and heads up. And DX do have a fairly strong spot to work with. You're trying to remove GS. GS3 on the backside of this building. They're being very vigilant clearing this one out, by the way. There's only 2 players. I mean, they have to be if they want to wrap around towards that north side. 2 good grenades, but no dice on that.
Joker crawling back to Sakura. I think find this res. Jafar not quite in position, and a big nade from Tony K gets that knock and almost immediately gets the flush there. Well, nicely found. Sakura gets that res, and E-Arena playing on now as 4, but they have to move up to the coastline here and into the waiting arms of R8, of Regnum Kaya. Mormon makes first approach and will get immediately backed off the angle. I think Marso's chiming in there as well. This is a really difficult rotate for E-Arena. I would be surprised if they make it unscathed.
If they can regroup on Mormon, sure. But we'll have to wait and see. Like you say, it's a tough rotate for them to make. Wolves now wrapping on DX on that northwest side. Let's see if DX are able to hold them off down the line of shields. It's a pretty good regroup. That is a fantastic nade. Honestly, an airburst might have done the trick there. Silas has to do it all himself once again. With the double. Fantastic stuff. Zed Wolves goes a little bit too high, but Silas really throws the dazzler.
Sometimes the old dog doesn't need new tricks. Just play what you know. And the nade on target is brilliant for Silas. One of the longest standing veterans of the PUBG mobile scene on the global stage. No one really has more experience than him. And that's going to calm the nerves. Marth spray down towards Mormon. And E-Arena, I mean, I said I'd be surprised to see them make it unscathed. They did make it, but they were not unscathed after that. Silas saw to it. And now 2 of them have fallen, but they do manage to get into the next circle.
Good nade from Coops from up on high over towards DX. It's a good opening. And after that, instantly Doran's in as the front man from Romania. Very, very good stuff that he can bring to the table. Has always been a fantastic fragger, and now on a team that can really utilize his performance.
2 players for Wolves down. They managed to get an opening too, but that is not going to be enough there. It seems like DXavier can't hold off these pushes. Thundertalk and now Wolves have been able to take advantage of positions that seemed very, very strong. And with Wolves being able to pick up those 3 elims, now GK are going to try and capitalize. One player does stay down. Doran is back up to his feet with a nade in hand. I'm surprised he's not going for that heal. There's that first knock, and Wolves look to hold off in a solid fashion where DXavier could not. Coops, I think he wanted to hop out the window there. Maybe a little bit too slow. Second time's a charm, but Hicksword goes down on the sideline. 3 players fall on the approach, but 3 in response, and it's up to Doran versus Saf. And now pushing onto the outside there. Doran loses one of his teammates. They are flushed away. Opens up for the door frame, but will be blasted back off its hinges.
Pubg underneath. Ooh, trying to make his way back up the stairs here. Like you say, Doran, all down to him now. Nade in hand. This has to be a golden throw. And will head further down the stairs. Has one more to try and make it happen. Quick switches between the weapons. But teammates are starting to bleed out. Pubg realizes he's just going to go for those elimination points. Pick those up where he can. Doran jumps out the window. Goes for a similar scenario. Takes down the entire team between the 2 of them.
Pubg has to go for the reload there, but he's managed to get it in time. Oh no, the off angle comes through as well and forced into the fight. He wasn't ready for it. Wolves fall and nobody can hold these buildings. GK very, very slow to be able to get out of this position as well. It's going to make their approach really tough. They're playing now as 2 players on that northern side. Regnum Kaya still in a great spot, and R8 as well, having a second really strong game to open the tournament.
I mean, for R8, I've been... Well, again, I said it was unsurprising. I think they're a team that's improved a lot over the years. And they have remained steadfast between one another. So I do think they deserve all the prestige that they're requiring throughout this gauntlet. Good shot from Marth over towards Saf as he attempts to leave that position. Will explode on the vehicle there. Leaving GK high and dry with just the 1 player in Kevin. Tries to make a move out. Marth's got his eyes that way too. Doesn't quite have his number though.
Not quite on the bead fully, unfortunately. Kevin gets a little bit further forwards. R8 regroup back down to the compound that they've held for a while now. And continue their solid hold on the riverbank. Circle definitely north leaning, but Regnum Kai have been holding this 2-2 split for a while. They like these river splits. They've played quite significantly on them in these sorts of situations, and they played them pretty well in the past. And they're looking to do just the same here. Mormon still alive for E-Arena. Tony K as well, off on that western side. The 2 players left for the team from Thailand as the circle pops.
Towards the west. Still has a lot of water in this one as well, so getting flashbacks over towards Rondo now. Thunder talks with their singular player looking to pump the placement points a little bit with their 18 from their last game. Very obvious someone's in here, at least. Marth again, really not leaving Kevin alone. Despite asking multiple times, Prestige gets an off angle on it and will pick him up. As the circle moves further towards that western side, Regnum Kaya get more and more of the advantage here. But I think that both Silas as well as Zedwolf know they need to have a very, very strong hold towards the south side, because this is the position that's going to allow them to take on R8 when they do eventually try and move in. But with E-Arena still around this area, that's what Silas as well as Zedwolf are definitely most worried about.
Orangutan, last player in the drink. Been hiding out for a while. Almost cost Loxy his life to try and pick that point up. See how much longer they can survive. R8 making that western push, the real big maneuver that has to happen here. The question is when. The question is what do they need to get in place to feel confident enough to go for this push. Ida pushed off that rooftop now. They have to keep marching forwards. Regroup onto the tower and go from there. Regnum Kaya, yet to really fully chime in with force. AJ being a bit of a thorn in the side here. You see, I think as soon as AJ goes down, if Zed Wolf can find those shots with the Mini 14, I think that's when Rectum Kai can really start to leverage this.
All right, moving out, but Wild immediately finds the first shots on that one, which is a good pickup. Looking behind him as well. I mean, very, very good awareness on this one, but minimal ammo to work with. No nades, realistically, here. Orangutan still holding strong. RA just about get themselves in a position to start sending nades, but Wild evades every single one of them. M79 out of the smokes now as E-Arena looks to move across. How is he not down? Goodness me.
Oh dear, Tony K takes a lot of damage as well, and it is going to be maintained on that south edge. Rectum Kai are now playing with 2 on that south side. Don't go down as well. A knock there would have been really nasty for them, but they keep it going. Loxy, close to Marth, close to Ida, close to Prestige. Orangutan still just with their solo representative as well. Just clinging on there. On the off angle, down under the bridge. Playing down.